Grzegorz Gzyl, who is the project manager of project MAURICE, which is, as I mentioned before, focused on rain and not only rain, but also heavy rain management. So if you are connected, Grzegorz, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm connected. I'm using my colleagues' accounts for technical reasons, but I hope everything goes well with showing the my screen, if I may. Now,
Not yet.
Not yet, but can you see it now? And
yes.
Now in
yes.
Presentation mode. Very nice. Okay, thank you very much for your invitation. It's very nice to join your workshop. I'll try to briefly tell you something about the project MAURICE, which is implemented under the Interreg Central Europe. I have the pleasure to lead this project, and some of you have, I hope, also pleasure to participate in the same project. So the project is about urban water supplies in the wake of climate change, and we work on adaptation measures, and we work basically in the big group of 6 countries, but we are grouped in like 3 pairs, in a sense, around 3 challenges that we tackle. So the quantity challenges are tackled mainly by our Italian and German colleagues. Polish and Czech work around rainwater management, although the third group, especially the Slovenian colleagues, they do a lot of in this aspect, but they also focus a lot on the changing water quality while the climate changes. And in general, we are all working around the sponge city idea to promote it and to promote transition from the silt cities to the sponge cities in the shorter possible sense. And what does it mean? There's our simple sketch trying to explain the silt city versus sponge city. So in the silt city, in case of heavy rain, and you have the heavy runoff and heavy urban flooding events, and in the dry period, you have more severe droughts and more severe heat in a very short words in the silt cities, because all the rain goes very quickly and very sometimes intensively from the city to outside to the water courses, and this is so we have like the two negative effects, which have unfortunately synergies in between them. So the climate changes, and we have more and more dry periods, and in between we have more and more intensive rainy periods. And if we are sealing our cities, if we are building up new areas, and we just do not we just turn the permeable areas into impermeable, we just increase these negative effects. Whereas if we if we could switch our mindset to the sponge city mindset, it's different, because in heavy rains, of course, we probably cannot probably cannot exclude flooding at all, but this might be limited due to runoff, which is limited because more water we can capture for a longer period. Yeah, in the closest possible area to where the rain occurred, and we can reuse the water, which is the focus of our Czech colleagues in the project, and and we can increase the infiltration, which is our Polish a bit of this project. I'll go to that at the end of the talk with a bit more details. And with this, even in a dry period, you can not the drafts also are not so severe, because the water is maintained in the city, and it did not escape very far and brutally the city area. So as I said, we have 6 countries participating with 11 partners, and the partners and our pilot actions are at Stuttgart, Milan, Novi Bydgoszcz in Czech Republic, in Jaworzno, Poland, Ljubljana, Slovenia, and then Varoš in Croatia. Very briefly to go through them. In Stuttgart, the city is they are trying to model their groundwater to understand why the groundwater tables are falling in the last years. Is it a climate change, or is it an engineering problem? In Milan, they have a network of canals, which is very ancient one. They even transported the stones for famous Duomo through these canals. So they are really old ones, but the fields are around them, and they try to rebuild the groundwater resources by spreading the water from the canals onto the fields out in the winter outside the vegetation seasons. And they also model that, I think, in Novi Bydgoszcz they mainly want to focus on the reuse of the water and the use of rainwater. So the reuse of the water in the swimming pool, this is feasibility studies and the pilots run by Photon Water for Novi Bydgoszcz city, and they also want to use the rainwater, consider using rainwater for the ice, for the skate rink, for the ice hockey, for the winter stadium. In Jaworzno in Poland, we are mainly focused on the post-mining areas, and in these post-mining areas, it's really a challenge to have a good infiltration of rainwater, not too intense in the localized areas, because there is a risk of submersion. But on the other hand, we want to also avoid sealing the city. Want to put as much water underground as possible, but in a controlled manner. And we will develop the guidelines for blue and green infrastructure, and a few more words about our pilot will come at the end of my presentation. In Ljubljana, in Slovenia, they also work with the special planners from the very beginning to understand which areas are more permeable naturally from the rocks that are occurring there. But they also tackle the problem of the sewage system, which is not able to transport the massive amounts of water after the heavy rainfalls. and these are more and more heavy due to the climate change. So they plan to actually also they plan to build a kind of the infrastructure for the retention and filtration of storm water. Last but not least, in Varaždin in Croatia, our colleagues are focusing on the impact on the quality of groundwater from the cascade of surface water reservoirs used for drinking water. Yeah, if you have a dam over the surface water level increases, and then the surface water infiltrates groundwater. So usually it's the opposite direction, but in this case, if you have a water dam, then the surface water infiltrates groundwater, and this has an impact on the quality, and they are modeling that. And just to briefly mention that we have pilot actions and related solutions from our pilot actions in our project, and we are building a management strategy, and we are building the long-lasting network. You are all invited to our Sponge City talks, in which we want to increase our community. But just at the very end, to focus a little bit on our pilot action area in Jaworzno. Recently, the pilot installation of the project have been built, and what you can see in the middle slide, these are the areas of the same these are terraces of the same area built with the three permeable materials. So mineral resin is on the is here in like in the front. In the middle there's like a geogrid, so a possibility to grow some grass over it, and there is a cavernous concrete in the far end of this middle photo, and we are actually have all of them measured in terms of how much water is flowing from the surface and how much water is infiltrating, and we have a set of measurements which is pictured in the left photo, and the measurements are now ongoing, and we'll be analyzing all the rainfall events over the season and how these surfaces behave. We already know that there's really a lot of water infiltrating into these surfaces, even if they are very firm. So with this, we want to, as this is at the headquarters of our partner, City of Jaworzno, the Bureau for Geology, which is seated in the very nice geopark. There is a lot of people visiting them, and we want to promote these kind of surfaces, that with these surfaces you can put a lot of
Grzegorz, sorry.